Just the three of us. We can do it if we try. Just the three of us. You, and I. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Pop-Off, as you heard by our copyright infringed theme music. There's only three of us today, but that doesn't matter. We're going to do the thing. Shout out to Caleeb. Couldn't be with us today, but that's okay. He will be with us next week. But the three of us decided to press on. There's a lot of stuff going on in the sporting world today, and we're going to jump right into it. We don't got a lot of time, but we got a lot of topics. So first and foremost, Mr. Gene Fitzmagic, how are you, my guy?
I'm excellent, my man. I'm excellent. We're missing Caleeb today, but I don't know who's going to do his breakout stars. Well, maybe we'll come up with some answers for with us. But
yeah. We'll do it by committee. By committee. Mr. The James Wudi, what is up, my dude?
I'm loving that harmony just in the beginning. I wish I could have, slotted in as a tenor or something right in there. Get that going. But no, I'm doing good, man. Always hyped to talk with my boys, and I'm very intrigued for this week's episode of Nigel's Cap Corner because hey, looking forward to it.
Yeah, he didn't give us one last week.
I did not. We had a lot of stuff to get through last week, so I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll walk away from it. But this week, I'm like, nah, I had a hard time. Believe it or not, you listeners or you watchers had a very hard time picking out the cap today. There's a reason for it, but we will talk about that in just a second. So without further ado, why don't we just jump into the sports? Now, we know there's been a lot of things going on. As you know, the NFL is just around the corner. My Pittsburgh Steelers just put a little stomping on the Carolina Panthers last night, but it's still only preseason, so I'm very chill.
And there's still only the Panthers.
Yeah, and there's still only the Panthers. So I'm very chill, but needless to say, the New York Football Giants put a real stomping on who'd they play again? Because
the Patriots.
Patriots, right? Yeah. And that listen again. Hey man, it's just preseason, but all three backups did a thing, and if that is an indication of what the Giants are going to come with, they might be a formidable opponent to an extent. Let me just put it out there. They might be.
They're definitely going to be a formidable opponent. I'm going to be shouting that to the heavens. No, they're a team that is good in the right places.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're young and developing in the right places. Let's say that too.
Yeah.
True. I know that took a lot out of you to say that, G.
It did. Let me tell you something. When I was trying to think about the breakout star, we'll get into who my breakout stars for the Giants. I was like, wow, there's like 6 guys who could really break out and probably maybe even still break out. Who is the best one? So that was a tough pick this week for me to figure out my giant breakout star of the week or
True.
Of the season.
Well, it looks like we are at the end of the road for our breakout stars this week because we are covering the NFC East and we are covering the AFC West. So follow along with us. We are going to, by committee, take care of Caleeb's teams, which are the Eagles and the Chargers. Unfortunately, he's an Eagles guy, so it would have been great to hear his take on that, but we'll have to fill in the blanks and see what we come up with. So let's start with the NFC East, but first and foremost, I want to say thank you for all the people that have tuned in, that are watching or listening to us here on the Pop-Off. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Man, tell somebody. Just go on and tell somebody. We're here every Friday afternoon Eastern time, which is 12:15 Eastern. Again, tonight's going to be a big one, but a short one all at the same time. Jumping in, breakout stars, NFC East. Let's go. First, Wudi, with you, my friend. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Yeehaw!
I was thinking about talking in an accent, trying to carry over that southern vibe, the cowboy vibe, but I'll spare you guys. That hasn't really been perfected yet. But I'm not really famous for being a homer. Some people may call me the opposite. But I'm gonna go with a local guy that I've seen play a mile down the road from where I live. I'm going with Javonte Williams. Okay, this was a running back who, when he was drafted, people thought this man was a dog. That he was about to change the running game for the Denver Broncos. Unfortunately, the only thing that changed was his ACL health. He tore it and never really came back. And then Sean Payton, who is a really tough guy to get along with. If he doesn't like you, ask my guy Russ. came in there and, he showed Javonte no love. Immediately started a Wu-Tang. Immediately, started a committee and just moved Javonte down the line. Now he has a fresh start. Brian Schottenheimer, he's going to want to establish the run. And, Miles Sanders is there, but I think Javonte, the younger, fresher back with a little bit more to prove. Dak is back there. So now when, they cannot stack the box on these guys. You got Dak, you got CD on one side, George Pickens on the other side, Jake Ferguson. I mean, the passing attack is in full force, which should open up some lanes for my guy Javonte to really – I mean, you saw what was happening last year with Cooper Rush and Rico Dowdle, how he was able to be a fantasy relevant player when pretty much the offense was at its worst. Now the offense is set to be way better. They are supposed to run the football more, and Javonte is that guy. So I think he is, I think he might even make the Broncos look a little silly for letting him go and disrespecting him those last couple of years.
And they got him pretty cheap, if I remember correctly, for a I forget what the number was, but I had a friend of mine from the channel Buff from Prop Stars. He's a Cowboy guy. He was like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, we got him so cheap. It's like a low risk, high reward from what he could have gotten. So and the talent level that still hasn't really been produced yet. You know what I mean?
100%. I guess both of them, both Miles Sanders and Javonte, didn't cost much, but both of them have a ceiling that could be untapped. Miles, I just have less faith in. No disrespect to him, but
I think he reached his ceiling. To be honest with you, I think we know what he is. He's the back that's better in a committee.
Yeah, fair enough.
There you go. All right, Gene, we're moving on to you next. You are talking about which we just touched upon. The New York Giants. What do you got?
I mean, listen, there's a couple of guys that, like I said before, man, that could be breakout stars. If they go to the kid at quarterback eventually, maybe he could be a guy that'd be a breakout star by the end of the season. Singing his praises like they did with Drake May and Jaden Daniels and who knows and the likes. But there's also a couple of other guys that's been there for a little bit, haven't had a chance to really explode on the scene yet, who have all the potential in the world, like Jalen Hyatt, Tyrone Tracy Jr., but I'm going to go with Theo Johnson. I think the tight end, you know what? There's something about him. He's got he's got pass catching abilities. He can block. I think he's definitely a guy that's going to be able to catch you over 50 to 60 balls, get you about 500, 600 yards, receiving, high end single digit touchdowns. He's got crazy athleticism. They haven't even untapped his potential yet. I believe he dealt with an injury early on. So I really think he's going to be a guy that can come in with everything else kind of going on in this offense. What's always the best kind of thing to look at is that safety valve tight end. I think he's a tight end for the future. I think you're going to see him in playing for Big Blue for the next 8 years, 10 years. I feel like he's such a resource of untapped potential. I really can't wait to see what they do with him, especially with this offense evolving with the new quarterbacks and whatnot. I think there's going to Dable too. I think he's going to be a nice explosive player for them at the tight end position this year.
Okay. Like what you're saying there. And I will go next. I have the Washington Commanders. And you know what? I did a little bit of a cheat. My breakout stars, plural. I mean, I think I've done stars every week so far. Is the coaching staff. Here's the deal. Yeah. Here's the deal.
I don't know. That really might. Okay, that might be a little bit much.
Let me hear me out. Head coach Dan Quinn has now led the Washington Commanders to their first playoff in decades, and that was a big deal for not only City but for the squad. And on top of that, I would say 3 or 4 of his coaching staff: Larry Izzo, who is the special teams coordinator; Joe Witt Jr., defensive coordinator; and Cliff Kingsbury. All 3 coaches are coming back into their second year. That is a big deal to have these coaches stay, especially with the success they had. So I'm saying that they're breakout stars because I think if they can keep that momentum going, they're the ones that are going to lead this commanding team, and they're really going to break out of the shadows and probably leave that program after this season, whatever happens. But I think for me, those are the ones that I'm calling breakout stars because the Commanders did a hell of a job last season. They did a hell of a job last season. They shocked everybody. It was fantastic to watch them. They did a great job. Their defense, a little suspect, needs some work in certain positions. But for the most part, for me, I was impressed with their coaching staff. I was impressed with how they called the games, and they made it a fight, man. They made it a fight. So that's what I'm going with. Gene, go ahead and rebuttal.
Well, I have a question. Are you talking about the coaching staff as a whole or the assistant coaching staff?
Well, I'm talking about the head coaching staff. Like,
I got to rebut on the head coach for a minute.
Okay, do it.
He's been to a Super Bowl.
Yes.
I mean, so I think he's.
Who did he go to the Super Bowl with?
Atlanta.
Yeah, it wasn't Washington Commanders.
No, but he's already been like.
We're talking about breakout stars, though. Like that's if Justin Herbert goes to a new team and then you talking about, he's a breakout star. Like, no, he's been a star. He's an established name.
Wait. Even bigger. Is Wudi agreeing with me right now?
No.
This was all part of my plan.
We're best friends. Thank
you,
Nigel.
You might have just become best friends. Now that's a crazy statement to say.
Now, if you want to give me some of those other guys, I'll give you that.
But not because Cliff Kingsbury, you can't say about Cliff. You can't say. I know
but he hasn't really broken out yet, though. He's had a job. He hasn't really lived up to the hype yet.
But he made it to a playoff as a head coach. He's doing a great job in the offensive coordinator role he's currently in. I think people consider him one of the better offensive coordinators you can have. It's not like he, fell off the face of the earth. I think that's a name people know. Both of those names are names that people know, and they've had success in this league.
Well, I think football fans probably know all of them, but have they broken out as stars in the coaching community, in the coaching ranks? I don't think Izzo has.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so
I think he can be.
That's the important distinction. I would agree. But
perfect.
So we'll give you Larry Izzo.
Great.
Yeah, one
out of 4 is perfect. Okay. You know what? Because Caleb's not here, like we said before, we're going to do this by committee. He has the one and only Philadelphia Eagles. Breakout stars. What are we thinking off the top? Might be a little bit of a challenge for us because we just.
Wait a second, guys! Just real quick, because I don't know if this house it came out 7 minutes ago from Schefter, so I don't know if we've seen it yet. But breaking news, and we'll get right back into it. Commanders are trading Brian Robinson to the 49ers.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Oh wow, what?
To the 49ers.
Oh my god!
I thought he was going to end up going to Miami, to be honest with you. So I'm happy about that. Get him out of the conference. Yeah. That's good. That's really he'll flourish over in that San Francisco system. They know how to use backs.
Yeah, they do. I mean, my God, CMC, I'm out here trying to draft CMC in fantasy. Now, but actually, that probably has no impact on his.
I
no, because he's still gonna be the guy,
Yeah, but I feel like it might. I feel like just knowing that now, knowing that you have like a back that's gonna be a backup back that's gonna be reliable. I mean, CMC, what kind of state is he in right now? Do we know? Do we even know?
California.
He's in the California state. I almost repeated it too. Good one. Damn it, Nigel, idiot.
But he should be good though. He should be good. Like he went to Israel, he got those stem cells. My man, he's good to go.
Yeah, I forgot. My bad. Yeah. I forgot my bad. Yeah, he got them stem cells. He's good. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the fantasy.
Big ton facts. Oh my God. Yeah, this is huge for the JCM fans out there, because now he's the lead back. There's no count. No disrespect to Austin Eckler. He's gonna get his passing down. But as a rusher, it's him and Jaden Daniels. Yeah, that's what I said. Eckler, he's gonna go get his passing downs. But as a rusher, it's JCM and Daniels.
Buff from Prop Sauce. We actually were just talking about him. Yeah. You just missed it. We just brought you up.
Yes, we sure did.
Back on task. Eagles breakout stars. What are we thinking?
Me personally, I can't pick anybody on offense because of what we just said. Literally everyone, the line, every weapon, Jalen Hurts, they all Saquon. So then that brings me to the defensive side of the ball. And damn, they got stars here too. God.
Yeah, but they got a couple of guys too that I really like. I think Sidney Brown could be a guy that steps up this year.
Mm-hmm.
Jalix Hunt, the guy who we picked out on our Jordan Davis has a chance to even step up even more. But the guy we picked on our on the thing we're doing on IG was Moro Ojomo, especially with Milton.
I was just about to say, God.
Oh, he's the guy that we had. Yeah, Milton Williams was he's now gone to the Patriots, so hopefully he will be a bust. But Moro Ojomo has a chance to really take over that spot now and really kind of become a stud. He's got all the tools, man. If you look at some of the stuff, and he's going to be perfect for that Vic Fangio defense, man. Moro Ojomo. I don't know if that's who Caleb would have picked.
Probably. Let's say he would have. All right, cool. So we've just taken care of the NEC. Wait. Yeah, we did everybody, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We're on to the AFC.
Yeah, we're on to the AFC West. So, Wudi, you're going to start off again. You have the Raiders.
Yes, I do have the Raiders. My pick, I like Pete Carroll, man, and I don't like this team. I've hated this roster for years, but now they have a coach that I respect, so I do think they will be better, but still not great. So with that being said, they got to improve somewhere with a new coach, and I'm thinking that Jacoby Myers, who I guess you could argue, did he break out last year? He had a good season. He had a really good season last year. It was his first season with 1,000 yards. But the talk of the town was Brock Bowers. I mean, everybody knew best rookie, tight end season of all time, Brock Bowers, But I think Jacoby is going to get a lot more respect. Rodney Dangerfield getting no respect. I think he getting respect this year because Geno he's gonna air out the ball. I mean, I know they got Genty. They're gonna run a lot, but the offensive line isn't that good. I don't think they really attacked this offseason the way they needed to in order to create a Pete Carroll offense. I don't think the offensive line and maybe they're expecting Genty to just break 6 tackles every down. But that's not going to happen, and they're going to need to throw the ball. Obviously, Bowers is going to be good, but I think Jacoby Myers is going to have a career year. I'm talking about his most yardage in a season, his most touchdowns in a season. I think he is going to break out. He's going to be that clear wide receiver one for Geno, who we already know can get the ball where it needs to be in a pinch.
Sounds fantastic to me. Anything to add there, Gene?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jacoby Myers will be good. I just don't think I think we've already seen what he is. I don't want to push back on Woody. We already had a breakthrough earlier.
Great. Let's move on. You got the Broncos, man. You got them ponies. What do you think?
Yeah, there's a couple of guys here too I love. Drew Sanders, Troy Franklin, but I'm going to go with RJ Harvey. I think he's in a perfect situation. He's got especially when you talk about Sean Payton's offense, right? Sean Payton loves these kinds of backs, right? He's fast. He's going to be able to run a bunch. He's going to be able to catch a bunch out of the backfield. I think he's going to be able to score on the ground, score in the air. They got to steal in the second round. He could have been a first round back. I really feel. But he's going to be their Alvin Kamara, right? I'm not saying he is the next Alvin Kamara. I'm not saying that. But he is what Alvin Kamara meant to the Saints offense in Sean Payton's offense. He is going to be that guy in the Denver Broncos offense for Sean Payton. So all those things we used to see Alvin Kamara do, that's now going to be RJ Harvey's job in Denver. And what an opportunity for the young man. I really do think he does. He's got the skill set to take advantage of it too. I think he's going to have an explosive year. I don't know if it'll be, I don't think he's going to be anything, near the rookie of the year. There's a lot of other guys that would be great candidates for that this year on offense, but I do believe he's going to be one of these guys that's going to get rookie of the year candidate votes, and he's in a perfect situation for his skill set. And I really think he's going to flourish over there in Denver with Troy Payton, coach.
Sweet. Wudi, any thoughts?
Fantastic pick. Oh my God.
I love the love. I love the love today on the pop-off. James and Gene are making up. Guys, you are witnessing it here on the pop-off.
We didn't talk about the Jets yet, though. Wait till we talk about the Jets.
Are we talking about the Jets? Is there a Jets?
Not really. The Jets aren't on the docket, but if something comes up, I'm sure we'll disagree.
Oh, just let it live. Let it live. Once again, this is the pop-off, and right now we're going through the 2025 R picks for the breakout stars of each team. We've gone through all the teams so far, and we've gone through all the divisions. We are just clearing out a couple remaining stragglers. I have the one-time, two-time Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the thing about the Chiefs, though. Just like Wudi said, not a lot you can say about their offense in terms of breakout stars. There's a couple players max, but even then, they're still names, just like you were mentioning the Philadelphia Eagles, Wudi. So now I have to come up with that thing, that player from the other side of the ball, because I think that is where they struggle the most anyhow. So who I'm going to pick is the one, the only safety, Jaden Hicks. Jaden Hicks is now in his second year. He's a backup, but he had a fantastic rookie year. He had 29 tackles, 23 of which were solo, 3 interceptions, 5 passes deflected. The guy played like 31% of the snaps last season. And you know what? I think he's going to do even more damage this season. If the Chiefs can get their defense to run on all cylinders next season, this season, in a couple weeks, it could be lights out, because we know their offense, sure, man, they're getting a little older, getting a little tired. They've been there. They've done that. But I think that with a new season comes a new gust of energy. They missed out on the three-peat, losing to the Eagles last year. That means they're going to come out for some revenge and for some blood. And we know what happens when teams do that. They do that. So if they can outscore people, but also keep people to the lowest score possible, I think if they're led by Jaden Hicks, a safety, they're good to go. Thoughts, gentlemen?
He should be the starter this year, so I like that. I like that pick. He's gonna get you some picks. He definitely is fantastic. He's a fantastic tackler. The little spoiler alert: he's actually who on for the channel's Breakout Stars series that they're doing with One Every Day. Like, he's actually the one that's going to come out for the Chiefs in a few days. So the channel actually agrees.
Perfect. Let's see. I just made up for the Commanders debacle, didn't I? Great. Moving right along. Now, again, we're going to do this by committee. We have the one, the only Chargers. Who do we think is going to be breakout on this squad? This I'm very curious to see, because I didn't even know who this would be.
I could go obvious pick and say Omari in Hampton. I think he's going to be really do really well out there. But I'm going to go with another guy who I think is going to benefit from Joey Bosa's departure to the Buffalo Bills. Tuli Tua. I'm going to fuck this guy's name up.
Yeah.
Tuli.
I mean, there's a lot of
Tulo. He's a Samoan. Let's just say he's a Samoan. Number 45. Tuli Tuip Olo Oto. Ooh.
Nah, you put a bunch of extra vowels in there.
I think that's how it is.
No, there's a lot of vowels in there.
It's true, but it's
Tui, so Tui, Pul, Tui Pool, Otu, Tui Pool O2, Tui Pool O2.
Tui Pool O2.
Nice work. Well done.
I mean, it took me 10 minutes to get it, but
yeah. Thanks for listening to the pod, everybody. It took Gene another 10 minutes, so we're screwed for time. Gotta go. Great. Okay,
I like him there, man.
Anything else from you, Wudi?
My thought was very similar. Of somebody's gone, somebody got to step up. I was thinking more the loss of Rashawn Slater. Now we got Trey Pipkins out here. You got to put on your big boy pants and step in there and establish this run. So I feel like Pipkins is going to prove that he's not a pipsqueak, and create those lanes for Najee at first, but Omari and Hampton, like Gene said, I do think that would have been the easy choice. We just said RJ Harvey. So you could say everything that we said about RJ about Omarion.
Yeah.
If we're going, somewhere else, which we both decided to do, I think Pipkins is a nice one as well.
Oh, sweet.
I like that pick too.
You know what? Why don't we stay with the Chargers? Let me ask you guys this question. This is a free-for-all. Anybody can take it. Will Justin Herbert be a top 5 quarterback by season's end this year. He fluctuates quite a bit, but will he finish the top 5? Because he could be sneaky. He can be sneaky. Wudi.
I mean, so we talking like top 5 passing yards or top 5 passing TDs?
I think we're talking just top 5 quarterback in general.
Just in general.
Well, in my opinion, he is the top 5 quarterback. So that's why this is. You
really have him as a top 5 already?
Yeah.
I think we can think of 5 more guys that you'd rather have that quarterback.
I mean, you in your opinion can have 5, but no,
I got 5 opinions.
Okay, hold on.
All right, we'll start with Justin Fields.
Let me do this. Let me just clarify, because I feel like you guys were going to go all time out of nowhere. All of a sudden, you're going to be like, "Well, Joe Namath," and no, we're not going there.
No. Top 5.
The top 4 is a consensus.
Yeah,
the top 4 should be consensus. It is Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. It's number 5 that people start getting all weird about.
It could be Jay. There's a couple of guys you could put there. Jalen Hurts could go there.
Hell no, don't put Jalen Hurts.
Wait, wait. Is there much of a difference between Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Jalen Hurts is not my top 10.
All right. Jaden Daniels.
Yo, come on now.
Nope. I'm asking you.
No. I already told you he's in my 5. You don't think I've thought about this before, Gene?
I'm just making sure that you're not overthinking this thing or underthinking this thing.
I appreciate that. You're a good friend.
I'm trying to be.
Yes. So, Justin Herbert, that's who I put in at number 5. Fun fact, I do think Jaden Daniels, I think you guys might be a little surprised. I think he's going to regress a bit this season, especially if Scary Terry's not on the field. But Terry or no Terry,
for sure.
I think what we saw with CJ Stroud is what we're going to see with Jaden Daniels. Electric rookie seasons. Now there's tape. There's a couple other factors at play, and they're not the same. As a matter of fact, it's not even just CJ and Jaden. That's actually happened to every rookie QB that had like an electric first year. I'm talking Baker Mayfield broke the record for touchdowns thrown by a rookie his season. And then Justin Herbert beat it right after that. And all of them saw a huge sophomore slump. So with Jaden Daniels, I'm not too high on him. But anyway, back to Herbie. I think he is top 5. His receiving core is trash. Like literal, put it in the dumpster trash. Ladd McConkey, he has fooled people into thinking Ladd is like, Randy Moss. Ladd is a solid receiver. I like him. But it's Herbert putting the ball in the right spot. Quentin Johnson literally does not have fingers. He got 2 blocks that he has been trying to. It's the worst. And shame on Harbaugh for not doing nothing about that. I guess they got Keenan Allen. We'll see how much he has left in the tank. But it's real ugly what he has had to throw to recently. So I think that's what got people up in arms. But if I'm flipping Hurts, putting Hurts on the Chargers and Herbert on the Eagles, good God Almighty. Chargers winning 1 game and the Eagles going undefeated.
All right.
I don't know if I agree with that quietly, but so all right. Having said all that, I probably could see him making a case for him being in the top 5 right now. I don't think he will be unless he shows improvement on certain aspects of his game by the end of the season. Not because really so much of him so much is I think you're going to have a couple of other quarterbacks leapfrog. So I don't necessarily think he's not going to be as good because he did anything wrong. I think you're going to see the growth of other quarterbacks maybe leapfrog him by next year. So right now, he could probably be that. I think by the end of the season, I could see him being just a top 10 quarterback.
Well, come on, ribbit, Gene. Let's see three leapfroggers. Let's hear it. Jaden is probably one.
Jaden would be one if he doesn't go into a sophomore slump. If CJ Stroud comes back and does what he did, season 1, he could be a guy.
Brock Purdy.
No, I don't still trust that guy, man.
I'm just throwing. He was struggling. He was struggling. So I'm just throwing him. I'm just throwing him some bait. Okay, so no. Okay, what about Baker Mayfield?
What about Jordan Love, man?
Or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love, he definitely has a ceiling that not enough people are talking about. Jordan, he can have a real good year. He can have a real good year.
So there's a couple of guys out there that I think could, overtake it. What if in Liam Cohen's offense, finally we see? I didn't say we were. I didn't say we were. I said, what if we finally do see that?
That's possible.
New offense. So there's a couple of guys where I can see if he doesn't make another leap, he could be a guy that is not. He'll never be just another quarterback because he's got too many physical tools, but he could come out of that top 5.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. You've convinced me. Maybe he gets leapfrogged.
Yeah. Not anything that he does wrong. I think it's more like what other people do right.
That makes sense.
Okay, this is going. I don't even know what to do with myself right now. Okay, let's stay in the quarterback talk. We did talk about sophomore slump with Jane Daniels, so let's talk about another sophomore who's going behind the snapper. Let's talk about Bo Nix. Are we thinking that he's going to have a sophomore slump?
I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Is I think the offense works around him, and he works with the offense. I think he'll be protected to an extent because of it. I think that Sean Payton offense just fits him, and he fits the Sean Payton offense to a T. Like, they got the right guy when they drafted him. So will he regress? I don't think so. But will he progress? Will he be even better than he was last year? Maybe not. And maybe that would be the slump, right? That he just doesn't really go to that next level just yet. I think he's going to be slow and steady as his growth goes in his career. I think he's got he still definitely has a ceiling that he hasn't reached. Will he reach that this year? I don't think so. I don't know. He could be. I don't know if I ever see him being a top 5 quarterback. I think he could be a winning quarterback. I just don't think he'll be there this year. But I also don't think he has a slump. I think he's going to be steady as is.
Word for word, that is what I was going to say. Every word, even the stutters.
What's going on?
Amazing.
No, real, I have nothing more to add. I
am here for this, boys. And you know what? Just so we can take a breather and just to really take in what is going on between this budding friendship between my two cohorts over here. We're going to jump into Nigel's cap corner. And right now, let's talk about the ultraviolet that is on my head. This is a Canadian Toronto local company called Asterix, Adidem Asterix. A bunch of brothers. I said that with an A, not an ER, A, which means the black guys. A bunch of brothers that have this fantastic clothing line. And this is not a paid advertisement. This is just me giving flowers where flowers are due. Kind of boutique-y, kind of high-end. It's great stuff. The quality is amazing. Anyways, enough of this chatter. Let's look at the hat real quick. This is an off-white. You can't really tell on the camera here, but it's an off-white. Then you have a really, really fun side patch right there. Look at that. The embroidery is immaculate. And then in the back, you have Asterix, Adidem Asterix, right? And then you have the New Era flag. Again, this is all off-white. And you got gray UV and black guts. And man, this hat, I have a bunch of these colorways. This is one of my faves because I'm wearing it in conjunction with this t-shirt. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. So this is from My Comfy Couch. I don't know if you guys had that show when you were kids back in the day. Let me see if I can show you the back here because I'm a little swole now.
My Comfy Couch.
I'm a little swole now. You in the gym. Hey, oh. Get him
So My Comfy Couch was a TV show here for kids on kids programming. It might have been TVO, which is TV Ontario. So no, you guys probably didn't get it. It's very regional. The reason why I'm wearing this shirt is because it is Fan Expo up here, aka our Comic-Con. That's where I was this morning before I came to the pod. So I went there first thing in the morning, did some things, took some fun photos, scoped the land, and then I came home so we could do this pod. Then I'm going to go back over there and nerd out with some other nerds of a different genre. And for those who don't know, I also went to I went to the Mecca of cons. I went to San Diego Comic-Con recently. Yeah, It was wild. That's a whole other podcast. But I had the best this time. I've still yet to post pictures. I say that every time and still don't post. It doesn't matter. All right.
So wait, what was the comfy couch? Is that like romper room or something?
Yeah, in a nutshell, yeah. So it was led by the woman. She looked like a rag doll. Like her makeup was like she had a big nose, looked like a clown nose, and like black hair. Her name is Allison Court, and if you don't recognize that name, that's because she is the voice of the original Jubilee from the X-Men cartoons, who is a friend of mine. So she was on that show, and and so is a huge couch, and then she was on it. Google it, My Comfy Couch, and then it was just just a kids show. It garnered a lot of popularity, and of course, right now in this day and age, 2025, nostalgia wins. So
back in the day, I had a creepy old neighbor who used to sit with him on his big comfy couch, as he called it.
Nah, you just
I don't know, never went in.
You took that lovely moment, you went real dark with that, huh?
Okay. Just be careful of the comfy couches is all I'm saying. And now you said they were brothers. Are they also brothers?
No, they're not.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, we know, Gene.
They could be both. They could be both.
They could, but they're not. Moving right along, back to the sports. Thank you for joining us here, or being with us, or staying with us, or starting with us. This is the Pop Off. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate you guys watching and hanging out with us today. Again, a lot of topics. We're getting through it as fast as we can because a lot of us got some stuff to do, so we got to bounce. Unfortunately, Caleeb couldn't be here with us today, but he will be with us next week. So let's move on to this question. Now, we just talked about quarterback situations, sophomore slump situations, but we never really touched on the wide receiver diva situations. Let's talk about my former boy, George Pickens, now of the Dallas Cowboys creed. Now, is he going to be a big enough spark to energize the Cowboys and energize Dak and to kind of get that thing happening? Let's start with you, Gene, then we'll go to you, Wudi.
I think for sure. They already have we've already talked about some of the upgrades they made on offense, right? The offensive line should be a little bit better this year. They made some improvements there. Some other guys are just getting a little bit old, becoming veterans. Added a good back that could be really solid there. Already have CeeDee Lamb. This gives them really another guy that could really take the emphasis off CeeDee Lamb. You got to account for George Pickens, right? He's a playmaker. I think he actually brings their offense to a different level. And whether Schottenheimer is the coach to get, I don't trust Schottenheimer as a coach. He wouldn't have been the guy I would have picked. It was a hire that puzzled me at the time. But as long as the coaching and the offensive ingenuity, I don't know. As long as the offense is there, bro, the offensive coaching is there. I think could be a really, on paper, this could be a scary offense with some of the stuff they have. They got Ferguson at tight end. Listen, and everyone's going to complain about Dak. I think he'll be just fine. I think this offense is going to be a lot better than people are giving it credit for due to past offenses for the Dallas Cowboys.
Allow me to say that they definitely have not been giving the Cowboys credit on offense. Like Dak literally every year has near MVP numbers. That's why he's so divisive. Mm-hmm. Because statistically, it's like, damn, this guy is top 5, top 7. And then, we watch him, the eye test, and, we don't always like what we see. But when Dak has had, even just a 1A and a solid wide receiver 2, he has put up MVP numbers. Now you're talking about George Pickens, who is, in my opinion, a top 32 receiver in this league. Automatically, you have one of the best duos in football. They are about to cook. Yes, Gene is 1,000% right. This offense has reached a new level. There is levels to this, and right now, with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, they are on a new level. Schottenheimer, that is a valid concern. He is not even in the top 15 of guys I would have picked, but he has a job now. And I think even just common sense, Dak being a veteran, he's one of the longest tenured I think he is actually the longest tenured QB.
Wow, is he really?
We're talking about on their current team. So he is the veteran. And I think he knows enough about this game and the looks that he'll see that even with Schottenheimer, if he's calling bad plays, that you cannot double CD and Pickens. right? And those are two guys, crisp route runners who are going to get open, and Dak will be able to get them the football. This is a team where I think they could even carry their coaching a bit because of the amount of talent that is out there on the field. Definitely, George Pickens is elevating this team.
Agree. Let's move on. But I still want to stay in Dallas because they still got a whole lot of drama they got to clear up. And that drama goes by the name of contract. And that contract is belonging to Micah Parsons. Now, there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing. Let me break down a little bit of a timeline, just a little bit of a timeline, because we now know. And if you don't know, Netflix dropped an 8-part docuseries called America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys. Jerry Jones has gone on a tour to tour this to support this docuseries. And Micah Parsons has now. Is it Micah or Micah? Which one is it?
Mike.
This one? Micah.
This one's Micah. Okay, great. Has now scrubbed, or probably previously has scrubbed his Twitter page so there's no reference of the Cowboys on his Twitter, no reference to be seen, and has now posted this. He posted this today, I believe. He posted this today, and it is a quote by Edgar Allan Poe: "Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see." Now, Mike is going in deep. He wants his money. Jerry Jones is being stubborn. The Cowboys organization, who knows? They're just following Jerry Jones. I don't know, but what are we going to guess? Will he play by week 1? Anyone?
Well, he wants a trade. He don't want to be there. It's not. I feel like respect and money, it's a tie because they've blatantly disrespected him, and that's what Jerry Jones has been doing. Disrespected Dak, disrespected CD, so that shouldn't surprise anyone, including Micah. But you're still a human being, so of course you're going to feel some way about being disrespected. But the negotiations are going so poor, they're refusing. Like, Jerry Jones is now talking to his agent. Jerry Jones is acting like it's 1970. He's trying to talk to Micah directly, and just tell your agent, this is what we worked out. I think that was like yesterday. I saw it on ESPN that he actually said those words, like, "Oh, me and Micah, we worked everything out," and then the agent said no. Well, no one in any league in this country is making deals directly with players. That's why agents exist. So, to me, I think it's a lost cause. He might sit out. I don't expect him to play. That was the question you asked. Is he going to play week 1? My answer to that would be no. I think he has moved on. Of course, if they open up the checkbook and, Myles Garrett, right, make him the highest paid, he'll probably be back. But I don't think with the amount of disrespect he received and the just annoyance of having to, talk to my agent, and he's not doing it. I don't think there's any concession that Micah would make that he probably would have made if he came correct the first time. It was like, we paying CD, we playing Dak, do you think you could take a cut for us or something like that? Work something out. There's none of that. Mm-hmm. Say it with the check, cut the disrespect, or he's out. And I think he will be out.
Ooh, Gene.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find it. There was a rumor out that the Packers were close to a deal, and it was 2 first-round picks. I think a player.
Rashawn Gary, I think was it.
There was I don't know. I thought I saw Tucker Kraft. I could be wrong, but it was a second-round pick, and supposedly Dallas laughed at it. It was actually a pretty good haul. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually a pretty good haul. So I think the damage has been done with the way it's gone down. I don't blame him for saying I'm out. Like, really, how much more could they offer him that he can't just go get somewhere else, right? So, like, how much can they actually say, even if it is a Myles Garrett type contract? he can't get that somewhere else, I think what we need to do is just don't fall into that Le'Veon Bell thing where he stuck to his guns for the whole year, came back and was never the same player. I'd hate to see that happen to Micah. So if it means playing, maybe play. Obviously I don't think he'll be ready for week 1. But I do think the damage is done. And this also says one other thing about what's going on in Dallas. It shows us that if we didn't already see it before, that the time has passed Jerry Jones by, man. That's not how you negotiate with the player. Maybe you could have done that back in the 70s. I know he said that's how he bought the Cowboys in the 90s or whatever it was they had a handshake agreement and then they had the lawyers work out the fine tuning later. Like maybe you could do that back then. That's not how things work nowadays. And I think this, if anything, this shows us that the game has really passed by one Jerry Jones. So if I'm Micah Parsons, which it's easy for me to say, I would leave because of the disrespect. But again, I would leave because of disrespect, because if I'm Micah Parsons, I know I'm going to get that same money somewhere else, because somebody that wants to trade for me or wants to pick me up some way, shape, or form, they're going to pay me that money. I just don't know if I want to see him lose a whole year and potentially have what happened to Le'Veon Bell a few years ago, just was never the same player. I would hate to see that happen to Micah Parsons. I'm not saying it would. Maybe he'd be fine with a year off. Players get an injury and they miss a year and they're fine when they come back. I would just like to see him not miss time. Just play out. My thing is play out the contract and go get your money elsewhere. I wouldn't re-sign with Dallas for all the money in the world at this point.
Yeah, this is a tough one, man. Tough one, because you kept bringing up Le'Veon Bell, and that was a tough pill to swallow, because we know for a fact he would have been a stud of a back, carried on to be a stud of a back if things got sorted and he got paid or whatever the situation was, if that just got cleared up. But that time he sat out completely changed him. Again, to your point, Gene, we're not sure if that would happen, if it happens to Micah, but man, I don't wish that on anybody. Because when they're playing like they're playing, top of their game, and they're like, "Yo, give me some more money," just give them more money.
Damn, I guess Gene was right, because you bring up the Jets, and there's a little bit of disagreement, because I wouldn't say that about Le'Veon, actually. If he was a Steeler, though, and got it all worked out, yeah, he would have still had good stats, but that was because of the offensive line.
Totally.
Like the big change was, he sat out, but then he was trying to be Superman behind one of the league's worst lines in the New York Jets. And it just was he. And I understand, yes, he, did not perform well, but I wouldn't sit here and say, let's say he played that 1 year and then still went to the Jets. I think the exact same thing would happen.
That's fair.
Interesting. All right. Okay. Good chat. We got a couple topics left before we got to get out of here. So I'm going to jump to this. You know what? Let's jump to. Oh man, there's so many good topics I wanted to talk about today. But you know what? Let's jump to this. The kind of a what if scenario. What if? Now, can the Philadelphia Phillies, can they go back to the Super Bowl without, let's say, Saquon Barkley putting up the same numbers they did or the same performance he did last season before? Do we think that can happen? Wudi.
Theoretically, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of things can happen. You're not wrong. So yeah, they could. But they're not my pick to make the Super Bowl this year. And I think it's tough. Especially without Saquon. If we're relying, it sounds like the point of that question is to almost be can Jalen Hurts offensively carry this team to the Super Bowl?
I literally was just about to say it again a different way, and that was more or less the phrasing for sure. Yeah.
And I don't think he can. I don't, even with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, what is this guy's name? Dallas Goedert, the star-studded, and of course, every Eagles fan, will say, well, oh, look at this throw. Look at this one throw. Look at this, the Super Bowl. That just happened, bro. They were up. That was a defensive domination, and I know Hurts won MVP. That was literally the defense what the defense did to the Chiefs that game is illegal in 47 states. Like, do not tell me that Jalen Hurts was the catalyst of that victory.
Even the state of California.
There you go. It is. Anytime they're down and they need to rely on him, he hasn't been good. He's like, to me, he's almost like a black Jared Goff, where he's been put on that pedestal because the team around him is fantastic, 2 elite rushing attacks, and that's how they win their games. They get up, whether it's defense or they have a solid drive, and then they just run the hell out of the football. They go for it on 4th downs, and boom. Now their record is really good, and people are confused thinking that QB is an MVP. But Jared Goff has almost never been the catalyst of a Lions win, and Jalen Hurts has almost never been the catalyst of an Eagles win. So if Saquon is gone, so are their hopes, in my opinion.
Ooh, good way to end that statement. Gene.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I don't think. Yeah, Saquon. They need Saquon, right? Does Saquon need to be the guy that he was last year, though? Does he need to have 2,000 yards? I don't think that. He's like, if he misses. So let me answer your question with a question, I guess. If he misses 5 games in the middle of the season, can they win those games? Can they win games without Saquon for part of the season?
I think they go 3-2. Excuse me for a sec. Discuss amongst yourselves.
Someone's at the door. It's probably toys or hats.
So
We're gonna get an unboxing, guys. Just wait for it. It's toys or hats. There's enough other great weapons in Philly that they can't not have them for a whole season and get there. I get that, but I think they can still win a handful of games. Would I trust it would I trust them in the playoffs without Saquon? No. But I think if Saquon misses a bunch of games in the regular season, they have enough to get through the regular season into the postseason.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And then with the healthy Saquon, see what happens at that point. So I don't think you need a 2,000-yard Saquon to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I think you just need an active Saquon to repeat as Super Bowl champions. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And I would agree, that team is stacked. That's what I'm saying. Like they definitely
one of the better receiving combos in the league.
All the trench warfare is off the charts, both sides.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like they're a good team. They're gonna make the playoffs, but the question out, the Super Bowl, are they winning the Super Bowl without Saquon? Nah. If he's not the same 2,000, of course, because literally you put Saquon on the field, the entire defense is changing how they're attacking the game. So yes, Saquon being active, yes, they can do some work and get back there. But I guess I kind of ran away and started attacking Jalen Hurts, but the heart of the question, Saquon, they can do work.
What's Caleeb's take on Hurts? He's pro Hurts, right?
Yeah, he's not. He's refreshingly not one of those Eagles fans that thinks that he is like the best in the world. Like I think he would pick his guy Herbert over Jalen Hurts. I think he would do that as well.
Well, actually, I don't know if Herbert's his guy anymore. I think he's moved on to Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's his guy now.
Well, he has some guys, but I'm saying he likes Herbert. Yeah, he likes Josh. So I think he would still choose Herbert because he was even saying, he was saying like fire Sirianni, but he was also saying like Jalen he can't do it. And of course Jalen's had some good games since then, but I think it takes a little bit more than that to impress our guy Caleeb. So I think he would still pick Justin Herbert over him, and I don't think he thinks the way that like some Eagles fans literally think he's the best QB in the world.
Yeah. I don't know how many boxes he's got. It looks like maybe it's a lot.
Yeah. Maybe he dropped one on his toe. Then it's like
that's always a thing. You know, let's go into another thing then. This real quick because I got it in front of me. How many starts will Wilson, Dart, and Winston each get? Like, what's the breakdown of who gets?
Because you actually brought this up earlier, and I was about to lose my mind up in here.
What I do?
Because you have been trying to take Russell Wilson's job for years. For years, you're like, oh,
listen, you're a Russell Wilson lover. I understand that.
Russell Wilson lover. I literally don't even. That's the craziest part is that I don't even care for the man, like personally, professionally. But
I think Russell Wilson has some type of weird proof that James Wudi has done something really sinister in his life.
I am gone 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And you guys are now at each other's throats.
Well, it's Russell Wilson's fault, really.
No, it's Gene's fault, actually. But Russell Wilson, I don't know what more the man has to do to prove that he is a starter.
They drafted a quarterback early.
Yeah, the heir apparent. That's how you should develop QBs.
So you think Russell Wilson plays 17 games?
Yes, barring injury.
Okay, I don't agree.
No, oh yeah,
we saw that coming.
Damn, and see, and that's the problem with these microwave quarterbacks. We have talked about this time and time again. I know that you draft QBs, let them sit. There is no rush. There's no rush. Let them sit. Let them develop. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. You know, these guys sat, learned. When they were ready to play, they won.
Tom Brady wouldn't. We might not have ever even seen the legacy of Tom Brady had never gotten hurt. Like
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe got hurt. We might not have. Like I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, they knew what they had in him when they drafted him." That's bullshit. They wouldn't have waited 6 rounds to get him, right? So I don't think anybody knew what they were getting with Tom Brady. So that he would be to the extent that what he was. So I can't put him there. But like again, I do think.
Rodgers, Mahomes, like what are you talking about, man? Rodgers was a first-round pick. Mahomes was a first-round pick. Like this happens, and when you actually
does Dable have the fortunate circumstances in which to wait?
Yes, when you have Russell Wilson. If he just had Jameis, nah.
Russell Wilson, I mean, they're not going to win many games.
They are winning games, Gene. They are winning games. They are winning games.
For sure, Wilson.
Best defensive line.
Oh, I agree. Some they'll win like 6 games tops.
No,
I'll take.
I got to look at the schedule.
I'll take the over on that.
I got to look at the schedule, but I'm pretty sure they're going to win like 6 or 7 games.
I'll take the over.
Well, you said 6 times. Now you're saying 7. What? How many more sentences until you get up to 8, 9?
We made it 9 or 10. Nah, I really don't think they'll have a losing record, and therefore should he keep his job?
I think the Giants are a good enough team to surprise a lot of people. I think they will definitely certify Rob. Hey, you already know.
Rob,
he knows who's real.
Yo, you don't say what's up to me, you little son of a bitch.
Yeah. You know, yeah. That's pretty much. That's what you're doing right now. Some
clowning. Hey, listen. Before we go, because I know we got to get out of here in momentarily. So let's talk about this one topic that's outside of the NFL world, just to get it in there, and then we'll go on our way. But I want to mention, well, first of all, shout out to the Blue Jays. Go Jays, go! But also, Aaron Boone, your boy. Aaron Boone. Now he's with the New York Yankees. Woo, man! They were on a 5-game hot streak. They were on their heaters. And then they just bunged the whole thing up real bad, losing to Boston. What is going on? Can he keep his job this season? Or can he just keep his job, period, without a trip to the World Series? Like, this guy's got to go now, right? Again, to the World Series. They got to go, right?
I think he needs to go. I think he bumbled up the World Series last year. I thought there was opportunities for them to win some games that they didn't win. Again, do I blame him for inning 5? No, obviously, no one saw that coming. That was a voodoo curse put on by somebody. That doesn't ever happen, right? But he had a shot in game 5, and he ends up going with Nestor Cortez, who hasn't pitched in 3 months, and puts him in a big spot. Rob says he already should have been fired. Rob hates every coach and manager of all his teams. Let's say that he hates Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin might be the best coach of our era. He hates him. But I agree with him on Aaron Boone. Here's another problem with Aaron Boone. You know you got this Devin Williams issue, right? The guy has been absolutely horrendous. A couple nights ago, you're up 13-3. You win the game 13-3. You don't think that's on a day off. It wasn't like you pitched the day before. You don't think, all right, let's get with Molly Wop and this team. We have a big lead. Let's get him to a no-pressure situation just to build some confidence, and put him in. No, he holds him out so that way the next game he can put him in. Now, he got the save, but he gave up a couple of hits in a run. So, like, it wasn't a clean save. It wasn't like he's already back into the circle of trust. He gave up a run. He gave up a couple of hits. It wasn't a clean 3-up, 3-down inning. So, I don't understand what he's doing, man. Like, it's certain things that are so blatantly obvious. Like, I'm sure he knows more about baseball in his pinky than I do in my whole brain. He's been a pro. His father was a pro. Like, he's been around baseball his whole life. But you got to know Devin Williams. You can't put him in a high leverage situation, especially when the day before you could have put him. He was well rested. You could have put him in that game to kind of get the juices flowing for him. Instead, you wait to the next game and you put him in a high leverage situation. Which, yeah, he got the save, but it wasn't like a 1-2-3 save, man. It was close. So what are we doing? I think there's certain things that make you scratch your head. I think there needs to be a change. How many times have we seen a player go 3 for 4 or 4 for 5 or 4 for 4, and then he sits them the next day? I mean, it's like every time a guy has a good, like, the guys that you should want to keep in there because you want them to keep going and build up that confidence. Like a Jason Dominguez. I've seen Jason Dominguez get 4 hits, and the next day he's sitting. What are we doing? Give that kid a chance to keep going. You know, he's done it with Bellinger. He's done it with like every other player. It's ridiculous to me. And here's the other thing too. And I guess this isn't his fault. This is probably on Cashman. You have a spot now where you had Judge get injured, and now you're also putting out in the press that he can't really throw well. Oh, great. Now you're putting out into the press that he can't really throw well, so now guys are going to probably try to run on him more. And instead of even that, even if you don't put him in there, you're putting in Giancarlo Stanton, whose bat has been really electric since he's been back, whose bat is electric in the postseason. You're going to run him out to right field and chance him getting hurt, so now his bat won't even be available to us when we need him later in the season and in the postseason? He's a guy that gets banged up when he plays the field. It's a perfect situation to bring up Spencer Jones. He's 24 years old. I'm tired of hearing how he's the next Aaron Judge, how great he's going to be. If he was that great, you wouldn't have waited till he's 24, possibly not 25 to bring him up. He's so great that we have an actual legitimate injury in a spot where we could have brought him up to play, and we're not playing him? I don't know. Is it me? Am I missing something? What am I missing? And Wudi, please tell me, because I know you have probably something to say about it.
Damn, but we had 5 minutes left, and 4.5 of them were just used up right there.
I'm upset.
But no, man, Gene, say it with your chest. That's what you did. You got it off your chest. Obviously, like, no one can sit here and be like, "Oh, Boone's done a great job." I do agree with blaming him for. I mean, you would have still lost the World Series, but not as embarrassingly as you did. And then this year it's been a rough year. The Mets, we out here suffering as well, where the team on paper is not looking like the team on the field. But you just laid out quite a few specific examples of where Boone, like you said, he might know baseball on his pinky, more than, you and your whole, but it's also being a manager is about personnel, being able to know people. And like you said, getting somebody in at the right time, lower pressure situations to build them back up. And all of those times where Aaron Boone had a chance to show that he knows personnel, he has failed. So, yes, I would say, it's probably time to show that man the door.
Let me give a hot take 1 second of who the next manager of the New York Yankees should be, who the manager of the 2026 Yankees should be. You ready?
Gene Fitzmagic.
Alex Rodriguez. That man knows baseball in and out. He eats, sleeps, and breathes baseball. He has this uncanny way of getting to the young players. Even when he was back on the Yankees, remember all the young guys always went to him. They looked to him. He has a way of reaching out to the young players and they don't look at him like this guy that the press used to always try to put him out as. And that's the other thing too, is he's a guy that can handle the press because he's handled the press his whole career. He's a guy that will be able to be the manager and not really let the press affect him. Guys in his spot don't want to coach. That Derek Jeter, a lot of the greats don't want to come back and coach, right? I think he would like it. I think he'd be good at it. I think he knows players. I think he knows baseball. I think he would relish the chance to come back and be a Yankees manager. I think he just wants to be around baseball. I don't think they'll ever do it, but they should.
And I think we know friendship. We did the thing. We did the pod.
Hey, Johnny.
Overtime, only because Gene lost his goddamn mind when we talked about the New York Yankees. Yes. What is up, Johnny boy? So here's the deal. I just want to make it known before we head out of here that the Milwaukee Brewers are the best team in baseball, 80 wins and 48 losses. However, my Toronto Blue Jays, 74-54, 4.5 games above the New York Yankees. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us on this Friday. We just covered about 60-odd minutes with you, so we appreciate it. Next week, let's be more rambunctious, more happy, more friendship. Jump into the podcast chat if you can. Let us know what you're feeling. Let us know how you feel about any hot takes and how you feel about friendship. James Wudi, Gene Fitzmagic, let's have some weekend words before we get out of here. Gene, weekend words.
Yeah, we got one last weekend of preseason football. Guys, nobody get hurt, please, on any team. And let's have an amazing season. We'll be back before the season starts, obviously. But, yeah, one more week of games before the regular season starts. Hopefully nobody gets hurt and everybody has a nice, healthy, safe season. And, enjoy it. Other than that, enjoy your weekend.
Johnny boy, you got about 30 seconds to jump into the question. Which New York team has a better record this year, Giants or Jets?
Jets.
Okay, Gene says Jets. Wudi?
It's the Giants. I don't think it's going to be close, but
Jets are going 9-8. The Giants
are not winning 9 games. You are on crack, Gene. You are literally on crack.
Hey, weekend words. Let's get out of here.
Hey, somebody's about to eat a W today. It could be the Jets. They play tonight against the Eagles, but probably not because they stink. And hey, if you got a fantasy football draft this weekend, good luck. I just had a draft last night, which sucks with the news. Brian Robinson, someone picked Brian Robinson, 7th round. Now, he's a RB2. But anyway, if you got a draft this weekend, good luck. And don't chase unless you really if you really, are confident in that player. Then all right, screw the rankings. But for general rule of thumb, do not chase because that's where you'll fall behind.
Love the advice. I'm going to take some of that. I got a couple of drafts coming up next week. And you know what? Like Wudi said, the New York Jets are hosting the Philadelphia Eagles at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. The Dallas Cowboys hosting the Atlanta Falcons at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Then you have Minnesota at Tennessee, 8 p.m. and Chicago at Kansas City, 8:20. All these games are happening tonight. So if you're looking for something to do, anything to do, just get a little bit of taste. Just to get a little taste. You got 8 teams to choose from. Just get a little taste. My name's Nigel Downer. I'm saying this. I'm going back to Fan Expo because nerds be hanging out with nerds. That's how we do it. Have a fantastic weekend. Be safe. Give somebody a little love. Show them that you love them. And we will see you here next week when we form like Voltron. The squad is going to be here. We out. Peace.